Hi, my name's Carl Horton. What we're going to talk about is how to effectively use a water flosser so that we can avoid what people often tell me happens, and that is spraying most of the bathroom with that water that's coming out of their mouth. So we're going to try and avoid that effect. And so water flosser is essentially a little jet wash for teeth. Anybody that feels the need to use one can. I tend to recommend them as an adjunct to other cleaning routines. So don't just use it as a standalone product and rely on it entirely for cleaning around your implants and your implant bridges. But it is an effective additional tool to help with your oral hygiene measures. As with anything new, water flossing is something that you need to learn and persevere with. Water flossing, when you've been spraying the bathroom, can probably be a little bit off-putting. It might make some of you feel that you don't want to use it again. But there is a certain technique that you can use that will help avoid that. And there's certain positions that you can put the water flosser in to help, and we'll go through those in a moment. Simply, there are various models. Some of them are plug-in, some of them rechargeable, like this little model that we've got here. So this has effectively a little fillable reservoir, which you can fill up. There we go. Fill up at the back. So you've got a little area here that you can fill up with water. And if you want to, you don't have to use freezing cold water. You can use sort of slightly warmer water, which may feel a little bit comfortable if you don't have a mouthful of just implants and you have some natural teeth. Just might feel a little bit kinder to those. You can use whatever temperature you prefer. So some people do want to use absolutely freezing cold water. That's absolutely fine. But I wouldn't certainly have it too warm. You just want it sort of warm enough that it's going to feel comfortable for those of you with more sensitive teeth. So depending on the style of the water floss you have, they come with various tips. This one has a little quick release design on there, so you can change those tips over. I'd just probably pop the one that is your standard tip from the manufacturer, and that just fits in the water flosser. And let's try and get that into focus for you guys so you can see that. So that just fits into the water flosser fairly securely. You don't need to turn it around, just clips in this style of water flosser. They're all slightly different. There are many makes and models out there, but this default tip, absolutely fine. You might find with a slightly pointed end, but this one does target the water as well. There's a little tube that you possibly won't be able to see on there that just directs a nice little fine jet out of this one. So just standard tip, works absolutely fine. The next thing to do, once you've inserted tip with this particular one, you can see there are different modes. Some might have a dial on them, um, and that varies. You'll see there that you've got normal, soft, and pulse, and it's important that you pick the right amount of pressure. So what I would do is I'd always sort of start on the soft on this particular model that we're talking about. On the ones that you have your dial, I'd probably dial that sort of medium to slightly lower than medium and start off with that pressure. And if that pressure doesn't feel like it's strong enough for you, then you can dial it up and go for a slightly higher pressure. But the important thing is that it's comfortable. And what we mean by that is that the rate of pressure that you're using on your water flosser is giving you a nice, comfortable experience. Everybody's gum's different, and that's why we need these settings on the water flossers. You may find some of the cheaper models that you buy basically on and off, so you don't have a pressure setting. I probably recommend you avoid those and just pay a little bit more for something that does have some settings on there, just so you can vary that setting. Because if you do have one that is just basically on and off, and that is uncomfortable, you're not going to use it, and therefore you've essentially wasted your money. So what you should experience is a sort of a pleasant, comfortable feeling, and that it's not painful. If it's painful, dial it down until it becomes comfortable. Once you've found the setting that's right for you, because everybody's gums are different, and your gums feelings can change over time as well. So some days your gums might feel a little less sensitive, a little less comfortable, and sometimes they may be a little bit more comfortable. So dial in the setting that's correct for you, change it if you need to change it, and then once you've got that correct setting, then you can go ahead and use the flosser. Best way to use this thing, keep your lips pursed or closed so you don't splash the water everywhere. I haven't got a sink in front of me, and I've got some facial hair, so it's not ideal for you guys to see what we're doing here, but basically pop the tip in your mouth and then keep your lips closed and tilt your head down and over the sink. Might seem fairly obvious and straightforward, but a lot of the time what we do when we're doing these is we'll have a look and we'll kind of try and look in the mirror to see where the tip is going. If you're going to use that, what I'd recommend first is get the tip, have a little look in the mirror, lift your lip up if you need to, and have a look at where the tip is, but in your brain kind of feel where that is around your implant bridge or your implants, or if you not have implants, that's absolutely fine. You can feel it around the teeth and the gums. And what you want to do is feel in between those teeth and where the gum and your restoration meet. And that's the area that you want to use the flosser. And ideally, you use that against the roof of your mouth and sit that in between your bridge, if you can still understand me. So sit that in between your bridge and the roof of your mouth. So it's that gap where that touches, and then purse your lips together, tilt down, so head down over the sink, and then switch on. Some of them will have a little on button here, and then turn that on, and then the power will start, and any water that's coming out will drip into the sink rather than trying to see what you're doing. You don't need to be able to see. It is a tactile feeling. So moving that around and just finding that position, and you'll find that what that does is that keeps most of the water in your mouth, let that water dribble out into the sink, avoid splashing it everywhere around. So what you're looking at is around about 90 degrees from the tip with your teeth and your gums or your implant bridge, whatever you have. And once you've got that angle, then you can start to switch on and let that jet washer do its work, or water pick, water flosser, whatever you say, and just leave it there for a few moments, let it pulse, and then move to the next area and let it pulse again. So you can switch on and off, and you're just moving around those implants, that implant bridge, that restoration, flushing around, flushing that out, letting it do its work. So it's not just moving it around, it's get it into place, switch it on, let it pulse, let that water pressure do the work, and then you can either switch it off, switch it on again, or if you want to continue, just nice and gently, nice and slowly, leave it there for a few moments, let it flush, and then move to the next area. So I hope that gives you some kind of insight on how to use the water flosser if you have implants or an implant bridge, or even teeth. It works absolutely fine. So don't forget, purse the lips together, lean over the sink, switch it on once you've got it in place, and then just that little pause for a few moments, let the water jet do its work, and then move and move and then move, letting it flush any of those large bits of debris. Don't forget, it's an adjunct, so it's not the only thing that you need to use to keep those implant teeth clean. If you'd like some more information on how to look after your implants or what implants are, how the implants work, please have a look at the other videos that we have. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you found it useful. Pop some comments in. Let me know how you get on. Take care. Bye-bye.